On an analog console, a traditional setup, if you want to add a dynamics process such as a gate or a compressor to any of the signals on the console, you have to insert it via an insert point above the channel strip. And this is usually a Y-split cable that then goes into an external processor of some kind, perhaps a DBX160, or you may have a parametric EQ that you want to add to an instrument to do enhanced EQ processing. Now on the VI series console, we've got so much processing already. We've got fully parametric EQs, and we've got gates, and we've got compressors available for every channel and every output. But if you do have a particular piece of gear that you want to use, you can still patch that in externally using the outputs and inputs on the local rack. So let's have a look at how we do that. So for this exercise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume that I've got a bulk standard DBX160 compressor that I want to add to a channel. So what I need to do is go to my insert page, and I do that by going into the channel over here, down to the bottom section, this yellow area where we've done our panning and master routing previously. And there's an area down here that says insert, and when I press the menu button there, it brings up this page, and you'll see here the options that we have. So starting at the top, I can patch any of my 8 lexicons directly into a channel. If I don't want to tie up a bus, I can do that. Or I've got 1 to 8, 9 to 16, 17 to 24. So I've got 24 other patch points. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go back to 1 to 8. So I'm going to take this one at the top. And what I want to do is, firstly, I'm going to give it a label. So I'm going to go in there, hit the setup button. It brings up my standard labeling page. So I'm going to call this DBX 160. Okay, so it now says DBX 160, so it knows that I have a DBX 160. Now I have to decide which output and which input on the local rack I'm going to use to send to the DBX and to return. So the first thing I'm going to do is press this red Send tab, and I'm going to say I'm going to use line output number 10 on the local rack. So that's fine, that's done, and it now appears here. So the send is on line 10, that's going to the DBX unit from the console. I then hit the return, and I'm going to choose line 10 on the local rack as my return. So I've now got a signal coming out of the local rack into my DBX processor and back again into the local rack to create an insert loop. So now all we have to do, let's exit the setup mode. We'll go back in again on the channel we want to work in, and we'll see now that this is almost like a sort of a virtual rack of processors, and the first slot that I've chosen is my DBX 160. And now all I have to do is decide which channel I'm going to put it on. So for the process of the argument, I'm going to come back and show you. I'm just going to select this first unit, and it's now routed to the channel I am working on. Then all I have to do is go down here and switch the insert on, and that processor will now be working on that channel. And I could do that for up to 24 external units and patch them in anywhere I would like to. So if there's not enough processing on the console for you, you can still patch in up to 24 external devices if you wish.